Good afternoon, friends. This is Crystal from Homemaking on the Homestead, and I wanted to give you a little update, and then we're going to talk some about journaling and notebooks and how you do that. I have a few questions for you at the end, and I'm going to share some of the things that I've done for my homemaking notebook / journal. They can be different, but anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about in this video. Before I get started on that, I want to say it's been a long time, at least for me, since I had a video out, and that's because I've been super busy with, mostly all with family. So I've spent a lot of time with my family in the last couple of weeks, and that has been exciting. But today was like the first day I could sit down and just maybe kind of regroup and start thinking about things, the month coming, and videos. So I thought, well, let me get on here and do a quick little video with you. So yeah, that's what I want to talk about today, is why I haven't been here and journaling. Planners have always been one of those things that have driven me crazy because I find it so difficult. From the very beginning, I have found it very difficult to find a planner that really works for me. When I had all the kids, you know, I had multiple chore charts going and schedules going, and so I ended up making my own. I had cute graphics, and I would put together my own little chore charts and menu planners and things like that. And in fact, at one point, I even sold those as an ebook or and on CD, and they worked really well for me for a long time. But then I got to the point where, as the kids grew up, I didn't need that, and my to-do lists every day were a lot shorter than they were previously. So then it was time to figure out, you know, what to do, how to handle everyday life, and find a planner that worked. I tried several that I would buy online, and they were either too involved, they had too much information, or they were somehow didn't work for me. Finally, I got to the point that I needed to ask myself, well, what is it that I really need from a planner? What is it that I really, you know, am looking for when I go to buy a planner? And I think that's a good question. Well, I had a couple of years that I didn't know, so I just used a spiral notebook, and in that, it gave me an idea of the things that were most important to me. Things like grocery lists, maybe menu planning ideas. I didn't really actually plan menus anymore because I never knew how much leftover food I was going to have and how many days, you know, a meal might last us. We might eat it for 2 days, you know, or even 3, or the third day I turn it into something else. So I stopped doing day-by-day menu plans, but I would always try to have menu planning ideas. And that seemed to work okay. I also liked places where I could jot down ideas for my blog or now my YouTube channel. I also had places where I liked to jot down scripture verses that meant something to me. I like to journal. I like to write down thoughts or things that, you know, I want to ponder on, or little life events. So that became even more complicated to try to find something that fit those particular needs. I also like to have a monthly calendar that I can look at so I can plan and easily pick out things for today, this week, next week, you know. So we don't have a lot of appointments. I don't have regular doctor appointments. I don't have any regular type appointments that I need to keep track of. But I do like to keep track of dates. Birthdays, especially grandchildren. With as many grandchildren as I have, it's hard to, you just don't remember those things. So I like to be able to jot those down every month. Who has a birthday? Who needs a card going out? And so I'll show you what I was using and what I have found now that I'm going to test out for 2021. Okay, this is a 5-subject spiral bound notebook. And this is what I started out a few years ago, kind of adapting. So I made my own little headings for each subject, for each section. I had one that was all about the home. I had one that was meal planning, grocery shopping, you know, freezer inventories. Anything that was food related would go under here. Projects, I had all my projects listed, whether they were home projects, video projects, craft projects, you know, am I crocheting something, sewing something, do I need any supplies for that? It would all go under projects. At the time I made this, I still had a garden, so I had a whole section for just gardening, seed planning, catalogs, what do I want. And my last section was, whoop, I've got things falling out of it because it's got so much in it now. My last section was for my blog. And now I would use it then for YouTube after that. And that would be simply what kind of blogging topics did I want to talk about, or things that I wanted to do for my blog. For the calendar aspect, I just went online. I don't know, let's see if you can see this. I just went online and would print out a monthly calendar. There's a lot of websites that have printable PDF type calendars that you can just print. And so that gave me my month at a glance, and that helped do the job pretty well. So I like this method, and it worked for me for quite a while, but I still found that there were some things that I was lacking. I wanted a place to journal things down, and when you have notebook pages, they just kind of get all, you know, scrolled in a big pile, and so you don't really have any organization. So I was looking for something that was easier to jot things down with on a weekly basis or a daily basis. And again, I went searching and spent a lot of time looking at tons of planners. And finally what I ended up coming up with, well, I ended up researching about bullet journaling. I don't know if you're familiar with bullet journaling or not, but you basically buy a blank book that has a bunch of little dots, and you create whatever it is that you want. The biggest drawback, this is nothing new, they've been out for a long time. The biggest drawback I always had with bullet journaling was the fact that I am not an artistic person. And it seemed like everything that I saw required a lot of time and a lot of artistic effort going into it. And I'm like, I don't know that that's going to work for me. In the end, I'm going to show you what I got and let you know that even if you're not artistic, this might be something that could work for you. So what I bought was a set. This is an area that I'm not necessarily super familiar with, so I didn't want to go spending a lot of money buying a lot of individual pieces. So I was trying to find something that seemed like I could give bullet journaling a try and see what I thought and what I would get. So in the journal set, you get the actual journal, which is very nice. It's got a nice cover on it. And inside you have basically a lot of blank pages with dots. Not sure if that camera can get that or not. But that you're going to use to create your own pages, whatever it is that you want that's specific to your life. Which again, that was the appeal. Also in this nice little set, I got several really thin little rolls of washi tape. I think there's 6 of them in this little box that come so that you can underline things, you can, you know, put a border around anything if you want. I have actually yet to use it because I do like simple, so I don't want this to get, you know, super creative unless I decide I have an artistic streak and I want to just enjoy that. I also got a whole set of colored pens, so you can highlight things, to-do lists, things to scratch off if you want the different colored pens. So I've got several colors, I don't remember, 15 different colors. So I like that part a lot. And then last but not least, I've got stencils if I wanted to draw something, and they're just basic borders, lines, you know, characters, that type of stuff. I've got a big organized mess right now. More of those. And I've got a lot of stickers. And you can also, since I've gotten this, found that you can go online and, you know, if you're not artistic at all, you can just buy a set of stickers for your journal book. And that works just as well. So far, I'll give you an idea because I've started to test it out to see what I think. In October, I made myself a view for the month. And I just counted the dots, divided it up, and then made the calendar out. Then I took another page after that, and I would divide it into 8 squares, and I would put to-do lists on these and a section for my weekly goals. Now that started to speak to me a whole lot more. That seemed like that's more what I was looking for. And then I started November's, and I haven't really written a whole lot in it yet because I'm just kind of getting the hang of it. And I am trying to figure out what more things that are important to me. What do I want to add to it? What do I want this to look like? And like I said, I also wanted the places to journal. So I'm basically playing around with it. I'm going to see how this works, but what I have so far, I'm liking, because it's very much easy to self-adapt to my life, and my needs for a planner and a journal are going to be different than somebody else's. And so far, though, I really like what I found. If this is something that interests you at all, I will make sure to leave a link down below so that you can find it and see. I think, you know, for a journal, it really didn't seem like it was that expensive. It cost me maybe around $25, I think, and I got the whole set for that. So I was pretty happy with this. I am curious to know, what do you use? What have you found something that meets your needs, that you just love, and that you are wanting to share with me? And let me know what kind of a planner journal system do you use. Or do you use anything at all? I mean, I know some people just hang a calendar on the refrigerator and write things in, or have a hanging grocery list on the refrigerator, and that's good enough for them, as long as they can keep track of appointments and write down what they need on the next grocery trip. That's good. If that is how you do yours, or whatever method you use, could you let me know? Because I'm just very curious. The new year hasn't started yet, and I could implement different things. I could try different things. So I'm interested in seeing what I can make work. Alright guys, that is it for this video, and I hope you're all doing well and looking forward to the Christmas season, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.